Allu Arjun's transformation. Pushpa Raj is not merely a character, he's a force of nature. Arjun's ability to navigate Pushpa's complexities, his rawness, vulnerability, and toughness, is mesmerizing. The unconventional romance. The love story between Pushpa and Shrivalli, Rashmika Mandanna, is anything but typical. It's bold, emotional, and, at times, an exploration of power dynamics and personal insecurities. Action and thrills. Pushpa's journey is as much about taking on ruthless adversaries as it is about facing his own vulnerabilities. The film's action sequences are grittily shot, leaving you at the edge of your seat. The boldness of Pushpa's character, from his defiant body language to his unapologetic persona, Allu Arjun's Pushpa defies societal norms in ways that make the character unforgettable. The magnetic presence of Allu Arjun as Pushpa Raj. In Pushpa the Rise, Allu Arjun's portrayal of Pushpa Raj is a masterclass in performance. What makes Pushpa so magnetic is how deeply Arjun invests in his character's emotional and psychological layers. Pushpa is not just a one-dimensional anti-hero, he is a man struggling against the world, defined not only by his circumstances but by his sheer will to rise above them. Allu Arjun, known for his sharp dance moves and effortless style in his previous roles, embraces an entirely new persona here. His portrayal of Pushpa requires him to shed the suave, charming hero persona and embrace something far rawer. From the moment he steps into the screen, there is a presence that commands attention, a man who walks with an air of defiance, almost daring the world to challenge him. The struggle with identity and love. Pushpa and Shrivalli. The relationship between Pushpa and Shrivalli, played by Rashmika Mandanna, is one of the most compelling aspects of Pushpa the Rise. Unlike typical romantic tropes, the love story here is layered, complex, and, at times, marked by power dynamics and emotional conflict. Their connection is far from conventional. Pushpa, initially, comes off as an indifferent figure when it comes to women. His rough exterior, shaped by years of hardship and struggle, makes him appear disinterested in romance. However, Shrivalli's entry into his life becomes a game-changer. The chemistry between Allu Arjun and Rashmika Mandanna crackles with intensity, but it's not the kind of romance that is built on sweetness and tenderness alone. Instead, it's one rooted in survival, shared vulnerabilities, and the need to be seen. The romance is bold not because of overt physicality but because of the quiet tension that builds between Pushpa and Shrivalli. Pushpa's awkwardness in love is a key element. He is not used to affection. His life has been about fighting for survival. But Shrivalli, despite being from a different world, sees something in him that no one else does. There's an unspoken understanding between them, one that feels more grounded in reality than most Bollywood love stories. Their moments together are emotionally charged, yet there is an undeniable sense of tension. Pushpa's love for Shrivalli is genuine, but his pride often gets in the way. He is used to being the strong, in-control figure, but love exposes a vulnerability he is not ready to acknowledge. The intimacy between them, especially in the quiet moments, is palpable, and it stands in stark contrast to the external violence and turmoil surrounding Pushpa's life. It's a love that's complicated, raw, and bold, filled with moments of hesitation, longing, and eventual acceptance. Bold scenes and the rawness of Pushpa's character. Pushpa's journey is as much about confronting his inner demons as it is about navigating external challenges. Arjun's portrayal of Pushpa is exceptional in how he brings out the character's rawness. The film never shies away from showing Pushpa's imperfections and flaws, whether it's his struggles with his own identity or his relationships with those around him. Action plays a pivotal role in Pushpa the Rise, and it's the perfect vehicle for Arjun's performance. The film is peppered with moments that take your breath away, from high-octane chases to gritty hand-to-hand combat. But what truly makes the action sequences stand out is the emotional weight they carry. These aren't mindless stunts, they are moments of catharsis for Pushpa. Each fight, each skirmish, is symbolic of Pushpa's fight for survival, his struggle to be recognized, and his defiance of societal norms. Arjun's body language during these sequences shows that Pushpa is a man who has nothing left to lose. There's a rawness in how Pushpa throws himself into every fight, as though every punch he lands is a strike against those who have belittled him. But even in these moments of violent confrontation, there's a strange beauty. The fight scenes are choreographed to perfection, capturing the raw physicality of Pushpa's character. There's no finesse, no artifice in his approach, just a brutal, relentless need to win. This speaks volumes about who Pushpa is, a man who will not back down no matter the odds. The drama and psychological depth of Pushpa's character. Arjun's portrayal of Pushpa's internal conflict is one of the highlights of the film. There are moments when Pushpa's stoic exterior cracks, revealing the vulnerability beneath. These moments of emotional depth are often understated, but they resonate deeply. Pushpa is a man who has been dealt a difficult hand in life, and his emotional struggle is conveyed subtly through Arjun's performance. One of the most poignant moments is when Pushpa is faced with a decision that could jeopardize everything he's fought for. It's a scene that tests the core of his character. Does he follow the path of righteousness, or does he continue down the path of self-preservation? The tension in these moments is palpable, and Arjun navigates this internal battle with grace. The film's strong ending, A Hero's Rise. The ending of Pushpa the Rise is not just a culmination of all the action and drama, but a statement. It's a moment where Pushpa finally achieves what he set out to do, to not just survive, but to rise above all the forces that have kept him down. The ending is powerful because it's not just about physical victory, it's about emotional triumph as well. Pushpa's journey in this film is not just about escaping poverty or rising in the criminal world. It's about asserting his identity in a world that has constantly sought to limit him. The final moments of the film are satisfying because they reward the emotional investment the audience has put into Pushpa's character. He doesn't just survive the world, he masters it. And this makes the ending not just good, but great. Conclusion. Allu Arjun's performance in Pushpa the Rise is nothing short of transformative. From the boldness of his actions to the vulnerability of his character, Arjun brings depth to a role that could have easily been one-dimensional. The romance, action, drama, and psychological elements all come together in a way that keeps the audience hooked from beginning to end. Pushpa is a man who refuses to be defined by anyone else, and Allu Arjun ensures that the audience feels every moment of his journey. This chapter has explored the intricate layers of Pushpa's character, shedding light on the raw, bold, and emotional aspects that make him unforgettable. And it's through these performances, Arjun's commitment to pushing boundaries, that Pushpa the Rise becomes not just a film but an experience. Cinematography that enhances emotion. The film's visuals are not just designed to impress, they carry deep emotional weight, from wide forest landscapes to intimate close-ups of the characters. Direction by Sukumar. Sukumar's unique storytelling approach makes Pushpa the Rise stand out, blending action, romance, and drama into a seamless narrative. The power of symbolism and color. The color palette and visual cues used throughout the film have a deep connection to the story, symbolizing Pushpa's journey from a humble laborer to a feared figure. Bold and thrilling action. Cinematography and direction work together to heighten the action sequences, making them visceral, intense, and emotional. An ending that resonates. The ending is a culmination of the visual narrative, offering a conclusion that feels earned, not just thrilling but emotionally satisfying. The cinematic world of Pushpa the Rise. At its core, Pushpa the Rise is a cinematic experience designed not just to entertain, but to transport the viewer into a world defined by intensity, raw emotion, and visual spectacle. From the moment the film begins, the camera is not just an observer of events, it becomes a character in its own right, capturing the tension, drama, and inner turmoil of Pushpa Raj, Allu Arjun, as he struggles to rise from nothing into a feared figure in the world of red sandalwood smuggling. The cinematography, under the skillful direction of Miroslav Oleniaks, plays a crucial role in making this world come to life. Every shot, every angle, and every frame has a purpose, whether it's to highlight the isolation of Pushpa's life, the scale of the challenges he faces, or the brutal beauty of the world around him. The use of wide shots, often showing Pushpa alone against the vast, unyielding landscape of the forest, immediately establishes the theme of survival. He is a small figure in a world that's harsh and unforgiving, but his presence is undeniable. These sweeping visuals of nature, dense forests, towering trees, and rugged terrain, do more than set the stage. They speak to the internal struggle of the character. The forest becomes both his battleground and his escape, a place where Pushpa must confront not only external enemies but also his own sense of identity. Direction by Sukumar. A unique vision. The power of symbolism and color. Action and thrills. The cinematic execution of violence. Action in Pushpa The Rise is not just about physical combat. It's an extension of Pushpa's character. The film's action scenes, shot with exceptional precision, carry an emotional weight that many action films lack. These aren't mindless fight sequences, they are an expression of Pushpa's raw desire to survive, to fight against the forces that seek to oppress him, and to assert his dominance in a world that constantly underestimates him. The cinematography plays a crucial role in making these action scenes feel grounded. Instead of relying on rapid cuts and flashy angles, Oleniak's opts for longer takes and wide shots that allow the audience to fully absorb the intensity of the fights. Pushpa's battles are not just physical confrontations but emotional showdowns, and the cinematography allows us to feel every punch, every moment of tension. While Pushpa The Rise is defined by its action and drama, the romance between Pushpa and Shrivalli, Rashmika Mandana, adds a layer of depth and vulnerability to the narrative. Sukumar's direction ensures that this love story does not feel like a tacked-on subplot but rather an integral part of Pushpa's journey. The romance is bold and unconventional. It is not the typical boy-meets-girl story where the couple shares sweet, tender moments. Instead, their connection is raw, awkward, and filled with emotional tension. Pushpa, despite his tough exterior, is a man who is not used to affection. His journey to accept his love for Shrivalli is one of emotional growth. The cinematography of their romantic scenes further enhances this complexity. The intimate moments between Pushpa and Shrivalli are often filmed with soft lighting and close-ups, capturing the vulnerability in their relationship. These are not just romantic moments but emotional exchanges that reveal the deeper layers of both characters. It's a bold romance because it doesn't shy away from the imperfections of both characters but instead embraces them. Thrills and suspense, the build-up to Pushpa's rise. As the film builds to its climax, the action and drama intensify. Pushpa's rise through the criminal underworld is fraught with danger, and the cinematography effectively conveys this mounting sense of suspense. Every encounter with rivals, every act of violence, and every tense negotiation feels like a step closer to the final confrontation. Sukumar's direction ensures that the film doesn't lose momentum in the build-up. The tension is palpable, and the way the cinematography frames each scene, whether it's a moment of standoff or a slow-burning face-off, keeps the audience on the edge of their seats. Pushpa's character, as much as he is a symbol of power, is also a man who constantly finds himself tested by his environment, and the direction ensures that this tension never dissipates. The film's pacing is another critical aspect of the suspense. Sukumar knows when to slow things down for emotional impact and when to ramp up the action for maximum excitement. This balance ensures that the film doesn't become monotonous, keeping the audience engaged throughout the narrative. The emotional payoff, an ending that resonates. The ending of Pushpa The Rise is the culmination of all the action, drama, and emotional arcs that have been carefully developed throughout the film. It's a moment of triumph not just for Pushpa but for the audience as well. The final scenes are a powerful payoff to the emotional and physical struggles that Pushpa has endured, and the cinematography and direction come together to create a conclusion that feels earned. The final shot of the film, where Pushpa stands tall, having triumphed over the forces that sought to break him, captures the essence of his journey. The use of color, light, and framing in this final moment speaks volumes. Pushpa is no longer the vulnerable man he once was. He has become a symbol of defiance and resilience. The audience feels this transformation, not just through the dialogue or action, but through the visual storytelling that has been meticulously crafted from the very beginning. Conclusion. The cinematography, direction, and visual style of Pushpa The Rise are integral to the film's success. From the sweeping shots of the forest to the intimate close-ups of Pushpa and Shrivalli, Every visual choice is deliberate and serves to enhance the emotional depth of the story. Sukumar's direction ensures that the action, romance, and drama never feel disconnected but instead flow seamlessly into one another, creating a cohesive and immersive experience. Through bold visual choices, intense action sequences, and a carefully crafted narrative, Pushpa The Rise stands out not just as an action film but as a cinematic journey that resonates with its audience on a deeper level. The ending, a powerful emotional payoff, encapsulates the essence of Pushpa's rise, both physical and emotional, leaving a lasting impact on anyone who watches it. This chapter dives deep into the cinematography, direction, and visual elements of the film, explaining how they combine to create an unforgettable experience. Let me know if you need further adjustments or specific details added. The screenplay, an intricate and engaging screenplay that beautifully blends action, drama, and romance, creating an emotional roller coaster. Dialogue, strong, memorable, and filled with attitude. The dialogues encapsulate the grit of the film, highlighting Pushpa's evolution and his battle with the world around him. Music and soundtrack. The music plays a vital role in amplifying the film's emotional depth, with bold beats and melodies that reflect Pushpa's journey. Themes of survival, identity, and power. At its core, the film is about the rise of a man against the odds, exploring his identity and his need for survival in a corrupt world. The impactful conclusion. The film's conclusion ties together all the emotional and narrative threads, offering a sense of completion and satisfaction. The screenplay, crafting a story of rise, conflict, and triumph. The screenplay of Pushpa The Rise is an essential component of its success. Written by Sukumar, the film's narrative is an intricately woven tale of survival, ambition, and defiance. The screenplay strikes a fine balance between action, romance, and intense drama, making it more than just a typical action film. Every beat is carefully crafted, with moments of tenderness, boldness, and psychological depth. At the heart of the screenplay is the journey of Pushpa Raj, a man born into poverty and forced to fight for survival in a brutal world. The rise of Pushpa is slow and methodical, driven by his intelligence and sheer determination. What makes the screenplay stand out is its pacing, never too rushed to be superficial, but never too slow to lose the audience's interest. The structure allows room for Pushpa's character to grow gradually, and his eventual transformation feels earned and deeply satisfying. The screenplay does a remarkable job of balancing action with the personal evolution of Pushpa. His rise to power isn't portrayed as an instantaneous event but rather a process of struggle, introspection, and conflict. Each plot point adds layers to his character, his vulnerability, his pride, his aspirations, and his ultimate need to assert his power in a world that seeks to crush him. The dialogue and screenplay complement each other beautifully. While action sequences and dramatic confrontations take center stage, the dialogue never feels like filler. Every line is purposeful, adding to the emotional weight of the scene. Pushpa's dialogue delivery is filled with a rugged intensity that speaks volumes about his character. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's impactful, layered with meaning, and often carrying a sense of defiance that reflects his inner conflict. Dialogue, attitude, grit, and defiance. The dialogues in Pushpa The Rise are some of the film's most memorable elements, perfectly capturing the essence of Pushpa's character and the world he inhabits. Each line, delivered with raw intensity, enhances the film's gritty atmosphere, giving it a sense of realism and weight. Pushpa is not a man who speaks often, but when he does, it's with a profound impact. The most iconic dialogues of Pushpa often reflect his defiant attitude towards the system and society that has oppressed him. One of the most notable lines is Pushpa's self-identification, "Pushpa, I hate tears," which encapsulates his emotional resilience. This dialogue speaks volumes about his reluctance to show vulnerability, his internal struggle to never back down, and his firm belief that only strength will see him through. The dialogue between Pushpa and Shrivalli adds another layer of complexity. Their interactions are filled with tension, not just romantic but also emotional. Pushpa's awkwardness in expressing affection, combined with his unrefined way of speaking, creates a raw and genuine connection. The dialogues between them reflect a delicate balance of power, attraction, and vulnerability. Shrivalli's gentle yet firm responses show the complexities of their relationship, with her recognizing his toughness but also wanting him to be more than just a hardened smuggler. Beyond Pushpa, the secondary characters also have dialogue that helps build their individual personas. The antagonist, who challenges Pushpa's rise, uses calculated, manipulative dialogue to contrast with Pushpa's brash and impulsive nature. The power dynamics between these characters are clearly communicated through their verbal sparring. The music and soundtrack, a pulse that drives the film. The music in Pushpa The Rise plays a critical role in setting the tone of the film and amplifying its emotional impact. Composed by Devi Sri Prasad, the soundtrack combines elements of traditional and contemporary music to create a bold and energetic atmosphere. Each song enhances the story, whether it's intensifying the action, underscoring the romance, or adding a touch of drama. One of the standout tracks, Dako Dako Mecca, is a perfect example of how the music encapsulates the spirit of the film. The music mirrors Pushpa's bold, unapologetic attitude and his fiery determination. The beats are aggressive, mirroring Pushpa's struggle and rise, while the chorus adds a sense of triumph, reflecting his ambitions. The track becomes an anthem for Pushpa, symbolizing his fight to be seen, respected, and feared. The music also plays a vital role during the more intimate, emotional moments of the film. The background score during scenes of Pushpa's interactions with Shrivalli reflects the subtle undercurrent of longing and emotional vulnerability that defines their relationship. While their romance is bold and unconventional, the music adds layers of sensitivity, showing that beneath the tough exterior, both characters are searching for connection. What is particularly striking about the music in Pushpa The Rise is how it complements the film's gritty visuals and rough tone. It doesn't soften the rawness of the story but instead intensifies it, enhancing the emotional weight of each scene. Themes: survival, identity, and power. At its core, Pushpa The Rise is about survival. It's about a man fighting against the odds, trying to carve out an identity in a world that constantly tries to suppress him. The film's exploration of identity is intricately woven into its narrative, with Pushpa's rise being a direct response to the oppressive circumstances he faces. Pushpa's desire to assert himself in the world of red sandalwood smuggling is driven not just by greed but by his need to be seen as something more than what society has defined him as. His character is not about blind ambition, it's about reclaiming his dignity. The film presents a world where power is everything, and the only way to survive is to take it. Pushpa does this through sheer willpower, grit, and intelligence, understanding that the world respects those who can fight back and claim their place. This theme of power is mirrored in the dynamics of Pushpa's relationships. His interactions with Shrivalli and other characters are shaped by his need to assert control, whether it's in his attempts to win Shrivalli's heart or in his struggle against the corrupt forces of society. However, as the film progresses, we also see a more vulnerable side of Pushpa, one that is deeply conflicted about the consequences of his